Over the past few years, we've been experimenting with various colors on our booby patterns, and we've came up with a very effective combination. It's pink and purple, and we call it Purple Haze. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we'll use a size 10 Scud Pupa, some 8/0 black thread to tie with, some 6mm yellow round foam for the eyes. For the back half of the body, we use some large hot pink UV Estaz, and for the front half of the body, we'll use some large purple Estaz. To start the fly off, I've wrapped on my black thread, and I'm going to take my yellow foam, and this is good enough for 2 sets of eyes, so I'm just going to make a small little section in the middle, and then just make some figure eights and put the eyes so that they're right near the eyelet. And just tie a couple of wraps in front, and just keep forming your eyes and making sure they're secured nicely. Now that I have the eyes tied in, I'm just going to measure them up. I want them about the same size, and I'm going to shape them when I'm finished tying. So just cut off that end, and make sure your thread is at the rear of the hook for the next stage. Next step in the fly is to take your purple Estaz, and I've just pulled off a little bit of fiber from the core. I'm just going to wrap in a bit of the core, and then I'm going to take my thread about halfway, back up the hook, and then make about 2 to 3 wraps of your pink Estaz. And as you wrap it, just keep pulling it back. You want to form a nice butt on the fly. Now that the back half of the body is tied in, we want to tie in the front half. So I've taken some of my purple Estaz, and I'm just tying in behind the eyes, going back about halfway on the body, just to make sure it's wrapped in properly. Bring my thread back to my eyes, and then take about 2 or 3 wraps of your purple Estaz to form the front half. Now that the front half of the body is tied in, I'm going to take my thread and move it in front of the eyes, and I'm going to whip finish right in the front, right on the eyelet, just to finish off the fly. And then we're going to trim the eyes. So after we do a whip finish, we'll trim the eyes and trim the body. Now to finish the fly off, you can tell this fibers are pretty long. A lot of times they'll use medium Estaz, even small sometimes, but I like the large because I can trim it. So I'm just taking some big pair of scissors, and I'm just going to trim it fairly even. Make sure your body stays nice and bushy though. You don't want to trim it too much. You just want it about as long as the hook gap. And keep trimming all the way along until you get the right shape on the fly. And then once your body's trimmed up, we're going to shape the eyes to make sure they're nice and round. Now the body's trimmed down, I'm going to take a fine pair of scissors and just slowly trim your eyes nice and round so they're fairly even on both sides. So there it is, the finished Purple Haze. A lot of people have seen us use Tequila Booby on the show, and it is one of our top producers, and I expect Purple Haze isn't far behind. To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca, and if you would like to book an adventure like this one shown, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.